Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Golden Sun, The Lost Age. In the last part, we teamed up with Isaac's group here in Contigo, and I completely forgot to mention something kind of neat about the name of this place. Although, if you speak Spanish, you probably already know, or at least I assume you do. Apparently, from what I've been able to gather, Contigo is Spanish for with you. And in versions of this game that are in Spanish, they changed the name of this place from Contigo to Mitdir, or Mitdir, which is German for with you. Yeah, so very significant name going on here. Anyway, speaking of significant names, I decided to go with a unique, well, not unique, but an interesting party setup for the group now. So there are 3 items that change your class when you equip them. The Tomagarathon, I think the Acrobat card, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I gave Isaac the Tomagarathon. Piers has the Mysterious card, which changes you into an Acrobat, and Garrett got the Trainer's Whip to become a Beastmaster. And Tomagarathon makes you some sort of Dark Mage. Anyway, those change you into quadruple element classes that give you access to a lot of unique abilities. I don't have the final versions of them, which is really what you want, but they are pretty neat classes. Well, actually, they're not. Well, they're neat, but they're kind of useless. Like, their stat bonuses are garbage. I mean, Garrett here in particular is kind of shit. He can heal at least, but it's not very useful. And then Piers that can't really do anything of note. He does get some stuff that can buff or debuff enemies. Yeah, I think just debuff enemies, but you're better off using other classes for it since the stat bonuses from this one are horrible. And Isaac's one is very useful. The Tomagarathon, at the very least, is useful to equip because at the very base level, you get Revive. But it also gets a good single target spell, a good area of effect spell. Just the works. Anyway, as for everyone else, I turned Ivan and Sheba into white mages, which is like their dual element class with the Mercury Djinn, but it also gives them access to Revive, because they have to equip Venus Djinn too. Let's see. Felix is a samurai, so he gets access to a lot of buff synergies, or buffing synergies to boost our defenses and offense, and just lots of stuff from every element except water. Let's see. Jenna is a ninja, which is pretty much the same thing as Garrett, or as Felix, but she's going to be faster, whereas Felix has better defenses, and she doesn't get the buffing spells. And Mia is a water muck, which is her dual element class with the Mars Ginny. She's very, very handy in that class. But yeah, I figured I'd try this class setup first, and speaking of that, now that we have Felix's party, or Isaac's party in tow, we got access to more synergies. And with those new synergies, we can actually do things. We can get a lot more Djinn and all that stuff. If you didn't transfer data, you would only get the synergies that are necessary to complete the game. Let's see. I think there's a Ginny in one of these stumps, and you have to use force on it. Not that stump. I will find the right stump. Not that stump. It's probably the one the closest to the house. I bet it was. I feel so embarrassed for not realizing that sooner. Okay, let's see. Force! There it is! Alright. Yeah, Isaac technically does need this, but I'm actually gonna prioritize giving. Well, actually, no one else really needs it, so Isaac can keep it. Yeah, for the item-based classes, since they're quadruple elements, they need to keep an even number of Djinn from every element except their own. So Isaac's going to need every Djinn type except Venus, Piers will need them all except Mercury, and Garrett will need them all except Mars. Alright, now that we have that Djinni, it's time to be on our way. So now that we have a full party, well, the overworld music changed. I believe it changed anyway. But you'll notice the battle theme. It changes based on the party composition. If Felix is in the party, you'll get the same battle music that you've always had before. If Isaac is in the party, but not Felix, then you get Isaac's theme from the first game. And if you don't have Isaac or Felix in the party, but you do have Jenna, then you'll get the battle theme that we were hearing near the beginning of the game, when it was just Jenna in the group. And then last but not least, if you don't have Isaac, Felix, or Jenna in the party, you get an entirely different theme, I think. I don't know. I think it might just be the generic one. I usually don't like to do that, but it is a possible thing. I think it just plays Felix's theme. We'll have to experiment with that later. Since we have all 8 people, I'm going to do my best to cycle through them all so we get to hear all the different themes and see everyone in action. Alright. Oh wow, Jenna's faster than Sheba. And I love Isaac's battle theme, it's so good! Alright. So there is actually another Djinn we can get here now that we have Isaac's group, because we can lift this rock with the lift synergy. And then we just gotta use Cyclone. And look! Venus Djinni! Geode! I don't think it's a good idea to give that to Ivan, because I think he's gonna need... Yeah, he's gonna need mostly Mercury Djinn, so... Tricky. And I can't give that to Jenna either. I guess I'll just leave it on Piers for now. Doesn't do him any harm to keep that Djinni there. Doesn't do him any good either. Ooh. Well, no, that's not a good idea. Okay, we're good. We will figure it out later. Everyone will eventually have the right Djinn combinations to be in their strongest class as possible. I've been waiting for you, Felix. Take a look at your ship. Ooh, pretty. It has wings now. Now that you have been given wings, all obstacles in your path will vanish forever. However, it is not the wings alone that grant your ship the power of flight. Synergy is the force that powers the wings of Animos. If the ship is to fly, you will need to focus the power of your minds. You have visited Shaman Village recently, have you not? Now is the time to make use of the power you acquired there. But we had to use it in Jupiter Lighthouse. Now, use the power of Hover to raise your ship. At first, you may not want to move your ship too high or too far. It will be difficult at first, but that is to be expected. After all, this is your first flight. But your quest should not demand much more of you. Now, be confident and set sail! All of Contigo is watching. Show them your power and make your vessel fly. Alright, let's do it! Hey, wait! Master Hammett requested that I deliver this to Isaac, and I totally forgot about it. Well, you'd better hurry. I'm supposed to deliver this to Isaac. It's not too late, is it? On my way here, I stopped to Calais briefly to speak with Master Hammett. He was quite upset that you hadn't returned to visit him so that he could thank you. So he requested that I take this with me to Ateca. It is a gift of thanks from Master Hammett. Take it, please. All right, lady, if you insist. Ooh, Orihalcon! So, yeah. That was another transfer event. Felix, are we setting off now? Yes, we are. I believe you will only get it if you do the optional side mission to rescue Hammett. We did it! The ship took off without a hitch. Yeah, but shouldn't it be flying a little higher than this? Hammett told us that we wouldn't be able to fly very high until we were more familiar with hover. Let's see how far we can take this thing! Sheba, what's wrong? You don't look happy. Do you remember on Gemma when I told you I had my own reasons for joining your quest? Oh, you were so secretive. Are you going to tell us now? You've gone quiet again. It's okay. You don't have to tell us if you're not ready yet. I thought that if I went to Jupiter Lighthouse, I would learn who I was. I remember the people of Lalavero talking about how Sheba fell from the sky. All my life, I've been looking for the answer. Where was I born, and why was I abandoned? You knew Felix was going to Jupiter Lighthouse eventually, and so you went along with him. But you didn't find any answers, did you, Sheba? I'm sorry, Sheba. I was so excited to find Contigo that I didn't consider your feelings. What? Why is everyone so down all of a sudden? Farin raised Sheba like his own daughter. He's cared for her ever since he first found her. Yes, that's true, but... But you can never be his real daughter, is that it? Garrett, you don't have to be so blunt about it! No, he's right. I'd want to know my real parents, no matter how caring Farin might have been. You think so? If it were me, I doubt it'd bother me at all. Sheba, you may not know this, but you and I are very similar. What do you mean? Well, it's not exactly the same situation, but... I was born in a poor village. My memories are hazy, but I still remember it. I was only 4 when Bobby took me under his wing. You see, even though I was young, I was quite intelligent. Bobby had heard about me. And Bobby took you to Tolby to further your education, to raise you as a scholar. I was separated from my parents so early in life, I've never known the comforts of a true home. Farin has always been like a father to me. I must have been very lucky. I should say so. Thank you, Creighton. I feel better now. I'm glad I could help. Well, should we be going? Let's hurry on, Felix! So yeah, we can now fly over those small rocks. Flying is faster than if you just sail normally like I am now, but it eats through your party's synergy points, so use it sparingly. Anyway, we have a few things we can visit. Our main goal is to head up north to the Mars Lighthouse. Let's see, which is all the way up here. But we have a few things to gather first. The first of which I believe is over here. I'll just walk you, or well, sail directly to it. Yeah, we want to get into that cave. You couldn't get to that cave before because you need access to hover in order to get to it. Because you can even fly over the land. You can't fly over trees, though. Oof. Yeah, I just noticed Isaac doesn't have a lot of synergy points either, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'd highly recommend using your hover synergy very sparingly. But you can also pretty much park this ship anywhere now. It's great. You also don't get any random encounters while you're hovering, so very, very super duper handy. I love it. Alright, so here we are at whatever this place is called. There are lots of mystical thingies drawn on the walls, and as you can see, there's a summon tablet in there. So, because we see so many mystical thingies, it seems rather really obvious that that summon is going to be the deadliest Psynergy ever! So you gotta use Parch. Don't know why I accidentally clicked Douse, but no, you gotta use Parch. Oh yeah, one thing to keep in mind about the transfer data is that if you did not transfer your items, then you will still get a couple of Psynergies, but you will only get the ones that are necessary to complete the game, which I believe is just Lift and maybe Carry. Cultilique. I'm just gonna call it I don't know. Cultilique actually is not that bad of it's a very different kind of summon. Rather than dealing damage, it actually gets a HP restoring effect to the party. It restores your HP at the end of every turn for about 5 turns, getting progressively stronger every turn. It's a very, very interesting summon. And I wasn't exactly lying when I said it's the most dangerous Psynergy ever, or summon ever. Because in a way, it is. We'll get more into that later, but for now, just know that it's a healing Psynergy. Anyway, we are going to be heading back up to Shaman Village next on our way up to the north, so I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we are. So go into the Shaman Village cave, and I found Isaac! We've been looking for you, Isaac! Who are you guys? The name's Satarj. You took me out in the last round at Colosso. And I'm Azart. And don't forget Navampa. Oh, it's you guys. Is that any way to say hello to some old friends? What's your problem? We want to talk to you about your fighting style at Colosso. Yeah, and we think you shouldn't have won, Isaac. We think you didn't fight fair. It sounds like you resent the fact that Isaac beat you. We've just been thinking about it, and there's no way that Isaac should have won. Right, so you think I cheated just because I used my Psynergy abilities in Colosso? I don't know how you did it. I'm just saying I think you cheated is all. But Psynergy is a warrior's skill, every bit as much as your sword arts. It isn't cheating. You're not listening, are you, old man? That fight was fixed, and we're here to pay you back! So yeah, this is another transfer event. You will only get it if you, won Colosso in the last game. If you lost, it won't show up. Anyway, one other thing I forgot to point out about the battle menu is that you have this switch command. Once per turn, at the beginning of every turn, you can choose one party member in the party and swap them out to another one. Let's actually swap in Ivan to show that off. Alright. Alright, well, I suppose we should just treat this like a boss battle and take these guys out one at a time. Let's go with a Death Plunge. Let's focus Azart down first. Let's call it Demon. That sounds like fun. And a Hail Prism. Well, that was easy. Well, in that case, I should probably just treat these guys like regular enemies. I wonder, did that Festin's Blade trigger, does that count as a sword art or a Psynergy? Well, it's a weapon art, so I guess it just counts as a weapon art. Damn, that triggers a lot. Woo! These guys were phenomenal! Which one of you didn't think they won Colosso fair and square? It wasn't me. I think both you and Navampa were saying something like that. So, you don't still think our victory at Colosso was fixed, do you? No way, Isaac. We've seen the error of our ways. We promise we won't badmouth you or call you a fraud ever again. Will you forgive us? Yes, I will. You're not such a bad kid after all. You came out here looking for treasure, didn't you? Here, this was in the chest we found. You were nice enough to forgive us, so we think you should have it. Right, well, I guess we'll be leaving now. By the time the next Colossal rolls around, we ought to be strong enough to win for sure. Maybe we'll see you there. Isaac technically did cheat at Colosso, though, because I got because I got Isaac's friends to help me solve the puzzles. The golden shirt. That is an undershirt. So basically you just, your characters can have two shirts on, and this one would be their undershirt, basically. I'm gonna let Isaac use it because, well, they did give it to Isaac. That gives me an extra Mithril shirt, which... I think I will give that to Jenna. And I just realized Sheba has a thing that I forgot to try and see if it was an upgrade. It wasn't. Okay, we're good. We are good. Anyway, in here, there is another Ginny. As you can see, it's a Mercury Ginny over there. We need to lift these boulders in a way that lets us get to the Ginny without blocking off our way to jump over. But the question is how. I believe we start by lifting this one. I do believe we need Frost here. And Ivan has Frost. Yeah, one handy thing from the transfer data is that we got the Frost gem from the first game, which gives us access to Frost really easily. And Gale, thanks to Jenna being a ninja, I don't have to put Ivan or Sheba into their base class to do that. And then I believe we lift this one. In order to get around. Oh, yeah, because we also need to lift this. I remember. But yeah, if you don't transfer data, there are obviously going to be some Ginny that you will miss out on. In particular is that that Mars Ginny we found in Contigo with Force. You wouldn't have access to Force if you didn't transfer data. It's considered an optional synergy. Alright, so now that we got this guy here, we're gonna save. And then we're gonna kick its name! Attack. Let's go for Annihilation. Let's call it Demon. And attack. Ooh, pretty. No, not a Froth Spiral. It's so frothy! Ooh, handy. Alright, let's... Second verse, same as the first! Mwahahaha! And we killed it, yay! Well, not kill, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Ivan found the Mercury Ginny Eddie. Eddie speeds up Jin recovery time. He's very handy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. Let's let Sheba wish well on everyone. And I believe with that we now have... almost. We almost have an even number of Jinni on every character. So next up, we got to enter Shaman Village proper. So let us do that. See you guys there. Alright, here we are in Shaman Village. I took care of some shopping off screen. Well, just selling, actually. I just wanted to get rid of a few items. One other thing, if you don't transfer your items, Isaac's party will start with nothing but generic equipment. Which is actually very extremely weak. So, if you don't transfer data, then you'll definitely want to get them pimped out in some much better gear. But they'll at least have the strongest versions of the generic equipment possible. Anyway, our goal here is to get to the end of Trial Road, which you'll remember is where we fought Mawapa, and got the Hover Gem. There was an area at the end of Trial Road where we could use the Hover Gem, but I didn't go back there to explore it, because we couldn't actually fully do anything. Or fully explore that area just yet. But now we can. So I'll see you guys at the end of Trial Road, and I'll show you what's back there. So see you guys there. Alright, here we are at the top, and now we're going to use Hover, which I believe Sheba has, to get over to this cave over here. And yep, we need Lift again. And I do believe it is generally a very, very good idea to make sure you transfer all your available Jinn and Synergies, which I do believe requires you to transfer items as well as the Jinn. Because trust me, you are going to need a few of the optional Synergies from the first game in order to get all the Jinni. Or Jinn. Anyway, as you will see, there is a Jinni there. I do believe we need to use Reveal. Oh crap, we're gonna have to fight this one. Okay, I was wrong. I thought this was one that required optional Synergies. It is not. But it is a Jupiter Jinni. And it knows Spark Plasma! But we got it! Fortunately, we have a lot of... Yeah, fortunately we do have a lot of Earth Element attacks with this group. Anyway, that gave us Gasp. So Gasp calls the Grim Reaper on your foes. Very... wholesome. Let's see. Actually, I'm unsure of what to do. What happens? You know what? No. We will sort the Jinn out later as we get more of every element. For now, let's go ahead and let Sheba heal up. I was gonna have Garrett do it, but it looks like Garrett's healing abilities only work in battle, which is another unfortunate downside of the Beastmaster class. Alright, and I believe we can just cast Retreat to get out of here. Not quite. One more cast ought to do it, though. It doesn't work here. Okay. I will see you guys outside of Shaman Village to discuss the next location. See you guys there. Alright, I figured it'd be easier to just go back to the boat. Anyway, we're gonna go from here up to here. So, see you guys there. Alright, here we are! Let's head on up to the north. We're gonna get to the Mars Lighthouse and everything's gonna be awesome and amazing, and we can't fly in here, but that's okay because we don't need to fly in here because we're awesome! And we're fighting monsters! A Grand Chimera that dies in 3 hits. But not really, because, well, I don't know. I do not know. It could be different for you if you're using different class setups. And if you get lucky with unleashes. Like that! Ooh, these things can heal. And they know Synergy! Woo! Always heal up after battle. That is a very good habit to get into. Yeah, this place looks very frozen over. No, they did mention it was freezing over, so I guess that explains that. Kraden, come look at this! There's a huge ice wall blocking our path! If we can't do something about that wall, we're not going any farther, Felix. Yeah, so we're gonna have to find some way to deal with an ice wall. I mean, I don't see why we can't just burn it down. We have 2 Mars adepts in the party, but yeah, they don't just let us do the obvious solution. So we're going to have to find a different way past here. So let's just get out of here, and then we'll work from there. I wonder if retreat works. I'm gonna try using retreat. Hey, retreat works! Yay! Alright. So, since we can't go north, or any farther north, we're gonna have to go somewhere else. And that somewhere else is a bit tricky for me to find out, because I don't exactly remember the exact location. Exactly. I want to say it's right up here, so I will see you guys there. Alright, here we are. I believe this is the correct location. You can fly your ship through these, through this expanse if you want to. But you don't have to. I'm not going to. I want to conserve my synergy points. So weird Isaac's being so slow. But to be fair, Isaac or Ivan and Jenna are 2 of the fastest members of the whole group. And I guess his class slows him down a lot, or Mia's class is speeding her up a lot, because normally Mia's pretty slow. Well, I guess now that we have the whole group here, I can go over some comparisons between the two parties, that is. Similar adepts in the 2 parties. So, between the Venus adepts, Isaac and Felix, I do believe they have similar strength stats, but Isaac is faster and has more synergy points, while Felix has more hit points and natural defense, I do believe. For the Jupiter adepts, Ivan and Sheba, Ivan is faster but more frail, and Sheba is a little bit slower, but she has more defenses. Did I seriously just walk in a loop? I did just walk in a loop. I think I got the location wrong then. This might take me a bit. Anyway, let's go on. Between Garrett and Jenna, well, the first and most obvious difference is that Garrett is a warrior, well, I guess a warrior class, and Jenna is a mage class. But beyond that, Jenna is just balanced across the board. All of her stats are good, whereas Garrett doesn't have as many synergy points, and his speed is a lot lower, but he can hit, well, he should have a bit more strength. Oh, yeah, I did go to the wrong place. I think we need to go down there. Alright. And then last but not least, the Mercury Adepts, Piers and Mia. So, obviously, the biggest difference between them is that Piers is a warrior-type class, and Mia is a mage. But beyond that, they're pretty similar. I think they're in the same speed tier, but Piers has more physical stats. His hit points and his attack are both higher, and I think his defense is higher too. They might actually be even in defense. But Mia gets more synergy points. And as for which character's better between each one, Sheba beats out Ivan, because Sheba's already pretty fast by default, so she actually appreciates having better defenses than him, or her better defenses go a lot farther than his few extra points of speed. Isaac and Felix are pretty much evenly tied, but I'd give Isaac the edge for being a bit faster, so he can be a bit easier to use. Between Jenna and Garrett, Jenna's just obviously better because she just beats him out in more areas and ends up being a much more useful character overall. And then between Piers and Mia, Mia is obviously superior because as Mercury Adepts, they end up getting into more mage-oriented classes. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the right way. Anyway, here's our next destination, Magma Rock. This is the last of the elemental rocks we need to visit in order to get all the synergies. And I am going to save exploring this horrible, terrible, awful place that is horrible and terrible and awful for next time. For now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.